All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our it's Thursday morning Inner Circle Live session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. You'll be joined shortly by my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen, and we're going to get the day rocking. So, as always, let's turn off all distractions, grab a pen and paper for notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. And for the courtesy of everybody on the call, please ensure that your mic is muted if you're not actively asking a question or making a comment. All right. So, real quick, drop me a one in the chat if you guys can hear me okay. Beautiful. Appreciate it. So, let's hop over to trading economics. We have some news dropping this morning, and let's see what the Swiss National Bank had to say. So, central banks continue to tighten to tackle inflation. That is the word. Central banks continue to tighten and tackle inflation. Swiss National Bank raised its key policy rate by 50 basis points to 1.5%, bringing borrowing costs to its highest since 2008, despite recent turmoil in the banking sector. Norwich Bank also hiked interest rates by 25 basis points to 3%, and the BOE is set to push rates higher for 11 straight meetings. Right? It's happening around the world. It's happening still, regardless of the issues with the bank so far. Okay. That was the big news for the morning. Okay. We won't come over to the calendar. Refresh this. All right. So that came in. What I want to see if there's any notes on the press conference and what was said during the press conference. I attempted to listen to it, but obviously it was in a different language, so I wasn't able to understand. So let's see what this says. Raise interest rates was benchmark lending rate. Yeah, so it's just as expected. Don't see anything there. I'll do some additional reading to see if there's anything additional that was said during the press conference that we may need to take heed of. But came in as expected. We have at 8 o'clock, we have the BOE, Bank of England, coming in with their policy statement, right? Um, and they haven't done a press conference afterwards in a little bit, so we won't get a press conference out of the BOE, but we'll see those notes and we'll see the policy summary. So that'll be insight for us, see what's happening, what they're saying, and how they plan to move. Right. Later on today, also we got unemployment claims, and then Friday we got retail sales numbers, PMI numbers, durable goods numbers, right? So a lot of additional inflation data that can also be beneficial for us as we move. So that's it from a fundamental perspective. Do we have any questions? No? All right, cool deal. Let's I want to take a look at the dollar. Want to go through some of these Swiss pairs to see what they're doing. Look at some pound pairs. I don't have a ton of pairs to go over, and I do want to leave some time to ensure that we take a look at any pairs that you guys have your eyes on as well. So let's get to it. Let's come over here. I'll come back to that Swiss yen. But the dollar. Dollar made that press down yesterday, right? During the press conference after the rate statement for the United States. We're coming into this daily support level at 12,767, right? We said if we stayed below this level, right, we'd make our way here. So now we're here. So now we want to see, do we turn over and press back to the upside, or do we continue to press down and take out the A, right? And this is on the 4 hour. If we come back to the daily, we'll see this head and shoulders pattern. I'm sorry, this crown pattern that could be ready to do its thing, right? So we got this crown pattern here that we're also keeping our eyes on. Okay. Like so. Right? So that could be in play, right? If things change, right? If this pushes back up to give us another high, then this right tip would then adjust higher. All right. But as of right now, the dollar's turning over and pressing to the downside. So we're going to watch to see if this A gets taken out. Right. If the A doesn't get taken out, we'll look for a higher press and then look for price to turn back over. Okay. So one of those two scenarios. So, but right now it's the dollar pressing to the downside and this crown pattern doing its thing. Okay. 1 second. Cool deal. So that's where we are on the dollar. Benny, good morning, bro.
Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, everybody. How how are you, Ryan?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Oh man, I'm doing great this morning. Getting towards the end of the week. It's been a good one.
It's definitely been a good one, man. Definitely been a good one. Were you able to see any notes, or did you get a chance to read the statement out of Switzerland?
I was just looking at it before. I mean, they still just a major inflation problem. Just
Mm-hmm.
it says uh it said that although consumer prices are just a fraction of the soaring rates of the country's European neighbors. So it's not just about them, but it's also what's going on in the entire, zone as a whole.
Okay.
That's impacting them. So yep, so 50 basis points there.
Yep.
It says that the domestic inflation remains well above the Swiss National Bank's target between 0 and 2%. So it said in February it rose 3.4% year over year, exceeding analysts' expectations. So it came in above forecast. So that's why they held to the 50 basis points.
Got it. Got it. All right. Cool deal. Appreciate that, bro.
Yep.
Anything else you seen?
No, just waiting on the BOE decision today, which I think it's
Yeah.
going to be an interesting one in regards to what the forward guidance is going to be like, being that they just had that CPI print that came in above forecast,
Yeah.
10.4%. So
Yeah. That's definitely going to be an interesting decision there.
I feel like the Swissy rate was already priced in heavy, based on the price action that we've seen of late. And so we'll see what happens with the Bank of England today.
Yeah. I agree with you. All right, cool deal, man. Appreciate it. So let's that's the dollar, right? We'll come back to the 4. That's that look pressing to the downside there. So as long as if we take out that A, we'll continue crashing to the downside. But if we stay inside the A boundary, right, we could be looking at that daily level there. So we'll watch that to see how things transpire throughout the rest of the week. BOE will be interesting. And let's see something here. So that's our sub fib to the downside. So let's watch and see if we get to that D extension and take out that A. All right. So I want to take a look at this this dollar Swissy. Here we are on the daily time frame, right? And obviously, right, Swiss National Bank, they did their thing. Last week we had this push to the upside here, right? Strong bullish action. This week, second half of last week, right? And this week we've taken back that whole bullish move, right? Came back to the low here. Okay, still in this 80-20 zone, right? In that 118 127 zone. And we got a little bit of indecision on the daily. So we'll come down to the 4. I'll take this out for a second. Zoom all the way back out so we can see the whole deal. All right, step move to the downside. Run the fib off of the high. Boom. Right. So on the 4, we got a little back and forth. Okay. Got a little back and forth. We got a 50% retracement. D extensions at 90,037. All right. So bouncing back and forth there. But this weekly level is held. Okay. So far, the weekly level is held. So come down to the 1. And 2 ways I want to look at this one. Right. Here on the 1, this is our capital fib coming to the downside, just like the others, similar to that 4-hour fib. Okay. The other way I want to look at this, we'll take these fibs off, and I want to look at this from we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there. Yep. So that fib got taken out to the downside, right? We had this move here, and then yesterday this happened, right? That last push to the downside. So that took out the A on that fib there. So we flip the fib, run it from the top to the bottom, right? And these are those smaller waves within that larger move. They'll ultimately come to the end, and we'll drop them here. And this push to the downside with that rate decision hit the D extension here on the 1, right? So this weekly level held. We know we're still in the 80-20 zone, right, on the daily. So I'm watching this to see if we once we get a new AB boundary, right, do we get price to either, right? If the AB boundary looks something like this, because this is a zone that we're watching for price to come back into yesterday, right? But if we get this AB boundary to form, maybe we get price press down and test this weekly support level one more time. And then we see if we get a reversal out. Right? Something like that. So we'll see. Like Benny said, a lot of that rate decision, believe, was priced in, right? Came in as expected. So when the New York session opens, we'll see if we get price to press down, right? As they digest things from yesterday, the Bank of England, Swiss National Bank, right? We'll see if we get a press down and then see if we get a reversal out of there, right? So we'll watch that to see, but that's kind of what I'm looking for here. It could reverse off this level and push up to the upside. Now we'll see, but would love for it to get into that 118, 127 zone and give that reversal. All right, so that's one that I'm watching to see how it moves throughout the day. Okay, as we drop to the lower time frame to take a look at it, right? Pull this fib out on the 15. That's what it looks like there, right? We got a little bit of a spike up, press down into that 118, 127 zone, and it's trying to turn over there. Okay, so we drop the cloud on, and that's where we sit with the cloud view. All right, starting to get a bullish twist here. We haven't broken the cloud yet, so as long as we stay below the cloud, right, allow price to do its thing. If we do break above it, then we can look for some opportunities there. All right, questions on that dollar Swiss?
No.
Cool deal.
No.
Cool deal. I've been watching the Swiss yen. Still in a buy on my other account. But here on the daily, right? I'm still looking for ultimately retracement on this to come back to the upside, right? I still believe we'll get some more bullish action here, coming back to this daily resistance level potentially, right? So I'm still looking at buys on the Swiss yen. Coming to the 4, we're still in this 80-20 zone, but we also have in this little bit of consolidation, we have, we'll see it better on the 1, but whoops, not a crown pattern, head and shoulders pattern here. Right. So if this level holds and we get price to turnover and press to the upside, there's a head and shoulders pattern. Okay. So I'm also watching that, see if that plays out, and that fits into my bias and my narrative of price pushing to the upside, ultimately getting us back to some of these higher levels and taking back more of this bearish candle here. Right. So if we come down to the 1, see that a little bit more closely here. Okay. And we talked about this early in the week. I'll take this out for a second. Right. Looking for this retracement to occur and come back and retest the cloud. Didn't get back to that 618 level, which we wanted to, but this head and shoulders pattern, right, is presenting itself now. Okay. So I'll drop down to lower time frame and show you the entry that I took here off of this head and shoulders pattern. But that's the look there with the head and shoulders on. Okay. So if we take just that pattern, oops, and we run the fib on the head and shoulders pattern, it'll look like this. All right. So 382 retracement off of that move down. Okay. So if that holds, you can see price continue pressing to the upside, matching the extension is in alignment with that zone that I was looking for price to come back into anyway. Right. Enjoy, hit your stop and profit. I dig it. Hey, great work. Right. Great work. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for here. We got some indecision happening now. Right. So as we move down to the lower time frames, down to the 15, right, there's the fib on the 15. Strong bullish action with that rate decision. Broke the cloud. We got a bullish cloud ahead. Okay. We got our TK crossover. Came back and retested the cloud. Right. So my entry on this one is on the retest of the cloud, right, in line with this right shoulder that could be forming here. Okay. So that's my view on it. And that's what I'm looking for. Right. And that's why I took this entry here a little bit ago and looking for price to continue to move to the upside at some point. You guys follow me there?
Yep, you just confirmed an entry I took.
Beautiful.
With the it coming in like 80-20, hitting at 382 and then taking it back up.
Yeah. Yep. Good work. Good work. Okay. Any questions on the Swiss yen? No. Okay. Cool deal. What else we got? Check back in on this CAD again that I've been following, right? Daily, playing around at this low. Okay. Pushed down yesterday, right? And now we're just hovering in this range, right? Level still holding. Okay. Level still holding. So I'm still looking long here. Could take a little bit for it to actually play out, but we'll see. We'll continue to monitor it, right? As we come down to the 4, right, we know we're bouncing around, but looking at this double bottom scenario here, all right, strong push down yesterday, trying to turn back over and make its move back to the upside, so we'll watch to see. And then on our 1, this was the retracement here. All right, we didn't get that full push to the D extension like we thought we may originally, right? Price came back down, deeper retracement, still within that 618 range, right? So the matching D extension is still there, trying to get price to turn over now. Okay. And this will down on your 15. That's where we sit there. That level's no longer there. Right. Trying to break back through the cloud. We got a bullish twist ahead. Okay. So we'll continue to monitor this one. This one is a longer swing as well. Right. But we'll see if we get some cash strength at some point and markets start to push back to the upside. Okay. If we run that fib off the high on the 15, right, that's a fresh AB boundary there. Okay, so we'll continue to monitor that. The other one that I'm watching, and these pound pairs will be interesting to see what happens today and then how they respond, right? But I'm still watching this pound CAD. Okay. Still got my eyes on it from a daily time frame perspective. We got to that 382 and it's pressing higher, so we could likely break this weekly level and continue pressing higher, right? So that's not out of my realm of possibility here, right? Seeing as we already got that 382. Okay. Right now we're holding below. We've got a double top scenario there. We come to the 4. We still got this 80-20 scenario here on the 4. Okay. We see we're starting to press down now. Joy, hit your limit. Beautiful. Right. So we're still in this 80-20 play, in this 80-20 scenario, right? That rate decision is going to be key to see if they do give us a catalyst to press to the downside. Don't know. Right. But the 80-20 scenario is present here. All right. So going to be watching this one closely here from a 4-hour perspective to see if we continue to stay below this weekly level. Right here on the 1-hour time frame, similar deal. Right, similar to that 4, 118 and 127 is on the line with that weekly resistance level. Okay, so keep your eyes peeled. We'll see what happens after the rate decision, right? And then if we get catalyst to press down and then give us a pullback, right, we might have an entry opportunity off of the high to make that move down. Okay, so that's where we are on this pound CAD. Watching it close to see what happens after the 8 o'clock hour. Okay. Questions here?
No.
No. All right. Let's take a look at the rest of these pound pairs. Pound dollar. Just to get a view ahead of that statement. Pound dollar pressed into this daily level. We're breaking through it, right? Got a little bit of a reaction here, but we could be headed to this weekly resistance level at 124.509, right? Continue to watch that there as we play around in that previous daily resistance zone. All right, coming down to the 4. On the 4, we still have this 80-20 scenario, right? Even if we press to this weekly level and stay below it, it's still an 80-20, right? No 382. So this one will be interesting to see also as we're still sitting in the zone, right? This 118, 127 zone. Okay. So be interesting to see what the Bank of England does, right? And what they say in their statement. Okay. But that's another 80-20 that I'm watching on the 4-hour time frame to see how it responds. Here on the 1, we already got a 618 retracement here, right? So the matching D extension is here in line with that weekly resistance level. So we could get slight press down, then a move back up to test that weekly resistance, right? And then we'll see what happens. Okay. So that's where that one sits. Interesting positioning. So we'll see what the catalyst is in one direction or the other. Okay. So that's the pound dollar. Pound Aussie. Similar deal, right? Weekly. sitting at this weekly resistance level, 182,773. Okay. On our daily, still in this 80-20 zone, trying to break above, right? We broke above yesterday, last 2 days. Do we stay above and do we continue to press higher to get to the D extension in this monthly level at 192? Okay. That's the question. That's the question. We know, right, the Aussie has been relatively soft. Okay. So we could see this one press higher. Okay. So we'll watch that closely as well. If we get a strong bearish push down for whatever reason below that level, right, that could be an indication that we could be moving back to the support level. Right. There's different things to look for. So coming here to the 4, shallow retracement, haven't quite gotten to that 118, 127 zone yet. All right. But we're hovering in this B boundary zone. Okay. So another one to watch closely here, see how the market moves. We come down to the 1. We looked at this early in the week. We're looking for price to push into that 118, 127 zone. Didn't quite get it. And we're just ranging. So we'll see what happens through the day. Right. And traditionally, sideways press before those statements come in. I mean, before that statement comes in. All right. So we'll continue to watch this one as well. Also in a key zone. Okay. Also in the key zone. Questions on the pound Aussie?
No.
All right. Cool deal. Pound yen. This one's just ranging. Right? We got a 618 retracement, weekly resistance level, came back below the daily resistance level, right? And we're just pressing sideways. Okay? Just pressing sideways. This one I've stayed away from because look, like it's just been nasty. Right? Just been nasty. So just allowing it to do its thing. But that's where we are. We end up getting that 618 retracement. We press down. So again, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Okay. On your 1, similar story. 786 retracement there. Got that press down yesterday, trying to pull back a bit. So we'll see what happens. But this one's just been all over the place. So I've just been watching this one. Stayed away. Okay. So that's the pound yen. Not a ton to say there. These the pound Swiss and the pound New Zealand I've stayed away from a bit as well, but they've been moving. All right. Let's come back to the daily. Clean this up a bit here. Here's the pound New Zealand. So let's update this one. That level got taken out, so we'll do that. That's a support level there. So that's where we are on this one, right? Don't have a swing high just yet. Closes today. We will potentially if it stays down, right? But past few days, pushing to the upside, right? Now we're getting a retracement. Okay? Overall, pushing to the upside, right? Come to the 4. There's the move to the upside there. Okay. Broke above this daily level. Now we're getting this retracement here. I'm going to just run these off of the lower time frame. Off the low just to make sure that's the active one. That's the larger fib there. That was a smaller move. That's a larger fib there. So 618 retracement, right? And we've been pressing to the D extension in line with that daily resistance level, Demo on the 5 minute on this pound NZD, Joy, or just overall? All right.
No, that was the GPJPY.
Ah, gotcha. Some of those smaller impulsive moves. I dig it.
Yep.
I dig it. How's that going?
Oh, it is fun. I mean,
it's fun. Me and Ben were just talking about
it's
the lower time frames, man.
it's fun. And then the thing is, it's like, because how GJ move, you really can't take your eye off of it because that wick is vicious. So yeah, it's just been fun.
Benny,
I'm
what'd you say
glad for
about that,
demo.
man? Me and Benny were just talking about the lower time frames, man.
We were just talking about trading on the lower time frames and just the mindset you have to remain focused on those levels.
Yep. Keep us updated.
I was thinking about moving to the 30. I don't know, only because of those wicks. That's the only thing about it. I was thinking about moving to the 30 because the one was just too fast. Man, it's like as soon as you enter it, it was like side, and then and it's in the spot, but it was like side. And so I was like, okay, let me wait to see if it get to like a key level, and then I start like setting up like zones, like I used to set up your charts.
Mm-hmm.
I start setting up some of those zones, and I think it was more adequate to like zone to zone, far as instead of with the fib. So I started focusing. So that's what I'm gonna start doing over the weekend, is focusing over the zones and then just playing it from there.
Okay. All right. I dig it. That exploration phase is definitely it's fun and it's interesting to see how you evolve and how things work at different levels, right? We've been out talking about just the emotional side of it, right? And like you said, the mindset that you have to have as you're moving through those lower time frames, right? It's different. It's definitely different. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Keep us updated. Interested to hear how that continues to go for you. GP, this pound NZD, right? So we're pulling back now. Matching D extension is here in line with that $2 level, right? So we'll see if we ultimately get price to turn back over and continue pressing to the upside there. Okay. As we move down to the 1, this is where those smaller waves will come into play, like so. But again, 618 retracement, ultimately making its way higher, matching the extension line with that 4-hour D extension, also just short of that $2 level as well, right? 199. Okay, so ultimately we'll see, right, if it's now or later, price turn over and make its way back up. Okay. I want to see something here. So I want to go down to the 15 and look at this off of the high, right? So we have these levels here. We know that's there. I want to look at this off of this high to see what's happening here. So pressing to the D extension there, right? So we could get another move down, potentially. We'll see if we get something on this on the lower time frame here as the day moves on. See if we get to this D extension, and then see if we get price to reverse there. We'll see. That'll be interesting to see as the morning moves on. I'm gonna watch this on the 15 and see what happens. All right, if we get down to this 195, 283, and then see if we get new AB boundary, potentially 80-20, and see if we get a swing on it. Yeah. Gonna watch that one throughout the day. You might see a post come through on that one later. Yeah, might see a post come through on that one later. We'll watch it. But that's the pound NZD. Any questions there? Nope. All right, cool deal. Let's just keep moving. All right, 1 second. All right, let's take a look at this pound Swissy. There's your 15-minute look there. 618 retracement. We're just hovering sideways. That might be interesting just off that look there. Let me see. We'll go back to the high and we'll look at this one. We might have an opportunity there. Right? Overall, just ranging. Just ranging. Okay. Top of the range, we're trying to press back down to the bottom. Come to the 4. See a little bit more closely. Run the fibs off the low. Right? And that's the move there. So we'll see if we get a pullback and then a continuation short, or does price just continue making its way to the downside? Okay. So that's the 4 coming to the 1. Right? There's your look. 618 retracement on the 1. Let's see what happens here, right, with that rate statement. Excuse me. See what happens with that rate statement. We'll probably get just this consolidation to continue through until that 8 o'clock hour, right? So we'll watch that there, coming back down to the 15. Similar look to the 1. 618 retracement, all right? So we'll watch that closely and see what transpires. Drop the cloud on. See that sideways push. Okay. So keep your eyes on that pound Swissy also, see what the reaction is, and then look for the reaction after the reaction and see what transpires there. But that's the pound Swissy. Any questions on that one? No? All right. Take a look at this Aussie NZD real quick. And then we'll open the floor up for any pairs that you guys got your eyes on. I want to look at this Aussie NZD. Man. Rearrange these real quick. There we go. So overall, right, Benny broke this down yesterday. Seeing if we get a push back up to the upside here. Not sure we will, but we'll see. Right, we'll love price to get high and then look for the continued move to the downside on the 4. Got a 50% retracement, and we've been pressing down since Tuesday. Okay. On our 1 hour, there's our fib there on the 1, right? I want to look at this on the 15 though. See if we have any lower time frame intraday opportunities here. Fib's been bouncing back and forth. I'm going to run these off the high. Look at it from a couple perspectives here. So here, right? AB boundary. See if we get another push to the downside, get into this 118 and 127 zone. Okay. See if we get into this 118 and 127 zone here. We could have an opportunity, maybe even to that daily support level. Could have an 80-20 play there. So this is another one that we'll watch and see if we get some confirmation here on a reversal, right? Intraday opportunity here on the Aussie NZD. Okay. So let's watch that one as well. And then if you want, you can copy that, take it down to the 5 and look at it like that. Wait on that cloud break on the 5. Push down into that 118, 127 zone. See if we get a cloud break. opportunity to play it to the upside. Okay. Questions on the Aussie NZD? Nope. Cool deal. Benny, you got any that you're watching? See what happens after that rate statement? You sitting flat?
I mean, I'm still in the Euro GBP. Still watching that price action on that Aussie dollar for that correction to the upside coming out of that 80-20 zone, and then the Aussie Swissy to the downside.
Oh yeah, the Aussie switch to the downside. Yep. This thing keeps switching me around. This is wild. Let me get back to here. All right, here's that Euro GBP pushing to the upside there. Got a cloud break on the 4, looking long. Let's take this down to the 1 so we can see it there. Okay. There we go. It's that move on that Euro GBP. Okay. Beautiful scenario here, right? Off that 618 retracement to the high, 90 pips. Still got more room to go. Okay. Aussie dollar coming out of that 118 to 127 zone on the 4. Boom. All right. So looking for that continued movement there.
I think we just have to remember, right? We have data coming up for the pound. So when you talk about that Euro GBP trade, we want to make sure that we manage that position.
Yes, sir. Right. So we could get a press to the downside potentially, right? And then see what happens. Okay. Manage it accordingly. All right, cool deal. All right, we got a few minutes left. If you guys have any pairs that you got your eyes on, drop those into the chat for me. We'll take a look at them, see where they are, see where they sit. We got a question pop in. Janice, just make sure, right, that don't rush yourself. Don't worry about catching up, right? It's more about Benny put it great last night, right? Your journey is your journey. Take your time as you move through, right? No need to rush. These markets aren't going to go nowhere, right? So learn at your pace. Take your time, move through the training, continue doing the homework, continue asking the questions. Doing a great job, right? Just continue to take your time and walk through step by step, right? It's about progress, not comparing your position to anybody else's because nobody has been on the path that you have, right? So just take it one step at a time. We'll continue to be here, right? So don't rush yourself, but have an awesome day. All right. Cool deal. Joy, you watching Amazon? Is that what you said you're watching? Huh. Let's let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's see. Come here. Bitcoin doing its thing. Hit a D extension. We'll see what happens there. Let's go. Let's see what Amazon has. I haven't looked at stocks in a while. We're going to take this off the daily. All right, so let's mark it up. Let's see. overall, right? From a broader view, right? It's our extreme high. There's our extreme low. $4 to utilize. I dig it. I dig it. These stocks are definitely interesting, man. Definitely interesting, especially in today's time. You know what I mean? Different views. And as things continue to progress from an inflationary standpoint, layoffs still happening. I think it was Facebook announced another 10,000 that they're going to lay off. You got these companies like Benny talked about yesterday, right? That are just, they continue to be in tight situations. They over leveraged, just like some of the banks, and they got to make decisions to cut costs, right? So in doing that, you could see some pullbacks and then some extensions, right? So there's our support resistance on the daily time frame. Let's go to the 4. On these stocks, this is generally how I go about them. You can look at higher time frames, but you have a lot of these gaps, right? As price moves and as price bounces around. So on stocks, I do my support resistance differently, just because the price action is different. So I go from the daily down to the 1 for support resistance, and then I'll look at fibs on all of those levels. I look at fibs on all those levels and then go down to the 15 and look for potential entry opportunities. Because a lot of times, if I'm not looking at holding that stock for a long time, I got some that I am, but ones that I'm not looking to hold for a long time, look for an entry on the 15 and take that to a certain level and then be out, right? More of a day trade type scenario for stocks. But this is where we are here. Let's go blue, light blue. See, that level got broken there, right? So I'm not going to take this level, right? We broke through it. That's going to be a new high there. So I'll put the support level here. All right, so that's where we sit on support and resistance. Let's come back to the daily. Look at it overall, and then we'll bounce down through the time frames and see what we got on our 15. But come back to the high. It's the overall move. Boom. Right. So we got a 382 push there. Came back down, not able to break out to the downside. And we're kind of just hovering a bit. Right. Daily support, 4-hour resistance. And we're caught in this little bit of a range there in the short term. Come down to the 4. Look at the fibs here. Okay. Oops. Right there. That got taken out. That got taken out as well. So we'll come to the low. That one hit a D extension, then pulled back, which took out that A. So we'll come top down. Boom. So this is where we are on a 4-hour perspective. Nice deep retracement here. Stayed inside the A boundary. Now we're pressing to the downside. So we'll see if Amazon makes a move down and gets to this 85 level. We'll see. Right. So that's on a 4-hour perspective, more of a long-term for a stock. But we'll see. We got some levels to break through, but we got a nice deep retracement. So the question is going to be, do we continue to stay inside that AB boundary and start making lower highs and lower lows on a move down? Like so. All right. So we come down to the 1. See if we got any confluence here. We took out the A there. Let's see. Run it off the high here and see. Oh, there we go on the 1. Right. Similar deal to the 4. 8-6 retracement. See if it turns over and presses down. Nice bearish candle happening. or this was yesterday, right? So we'll see what happens when the market opens. See if we get that continued movement down, seeing as, right, Fed is going to continue increasing interest rates. All right. So that's on the 1. On the 15, similar story. Fib off the high there, 8-6 retracement, right? 4 hour, 1 hour, 15-minute. We got a similar story. Okay. So could be looking for more downward pressure on Amazon, right? Nice bearish movement here. We drop the cloud on, see where we are from a cloud perspective. Testing the cloud now, don't have a twist, right? If we get that twist and we get price to break below, right, could look for some shorts on Amazon. At least back to 95.66. If we break that level, right, we could be headed lower. So let's see. Let's watch it and see what happens. Let's watch it and see what happens. All right. But that's Amazon. There you go, Joy.
Thank you, because I was just looking at the news and was like Amazon rally, and I'm like, it looked like it's in the sale. How is it buying? And I just didn't understand the content they was putting out there, or maybe they was just trying to get people excited to come back.
They're talking about that right now?
It was yesterday.
Oh,
there was an
yesterday?
article that came out saying that that it rallied on Tuesday, and I'm like, this looked like it's in a sell position, and I was kind of confused about it because it broke over the cloud, and I was like, I wonder. But then when I looked at the field placement, it threw me off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they're talking about this last move here. That last move there. And then as the market closed, right? Powell speech, it dropped off. Let's see. Overall, it has been, right, this week anyway, has been moving to the upside. Let's see what this.
Because that's a crown, ain't it?
Where you at?
What's that?
Here or larger?
Right. Yeah. Larger. Right here at the what's that 618? Or I'm just seeing. So I'm probably just seeing it in my head. I'm sorry.
Let's see. You're looking at right here. Right here.
The next one down. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It just looked like.
I'm trying to see if it's
right there. No, go over. Starting right there. Yeah.
Let's see. Might not be.
Okay.
Shallow crown, maybe. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Potentially, yeah. So it looks for another move to the upside. If that's the case, that means you'll take out the A there. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. Yeah, that's a good eye, though. I definitely didn't see that. That's a good eye. Yeah. That's a good eye. I was watching to see. Do we take out the A or do we continue to move to the downside? All right. Run the sub-fib up. There's your AB boundary there. You got a 50% retracement. That D extension is kind of in line with that crown. We'll see. Let's see what happens. Let's see how it opens, right? Does it gap up, press up, or does it continue to press to the downside? Let's watch and see. That's Amazon. All right, good people. Benny, anything before we close it out, bro?
No, sir. Great session. Look forward to seeing everybody tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Asian session.
All right, good people. Appreciate you, bro. Have an awesome Thursday. We'll see you tonight. Peace.
Thank you.